we're all really inspired by the convention, but, you know, what is everybody going to do now? What are you going to do now? You need to make a decision. You know, some of you, maybe you're brand new, and you need to make a decision about really, you know, going after this business and really building this business with your heart and soul. And some of you, you know, just may need to restart your business. Maybe things have slowed down. But you need to make a decision about building the business, and a strong, heartfelt decision. And, you know, for some people that's scary because it takes commitment, it takes sacrifice. To get to the senior director and the executive director and the corporate director level, you know, you're going to have to change your life. You're going to have to sacrifice some things. You're going to have to work hard. You have to make a commitment. You may have people in your life that are not supportive, that may try to get in your way a little bit, and it can be scary and it can be hard. And I can relate to this. I want to take you back 10 and a half years ago when I had to make that decision to build my Melaleuca business. I was enrolled by Ed. I shared with Ed that I was interested in building the business, although deep down inside I had not made that commitment. It was a really hard time for me. I had my kids, Christina and Robbie, were 3 and 5 years old. I had spent 5 years working with a multi-level marketing company and was unsuccessful. I wanted to, you know, generate income for my family. I needed to do that. And here I was, you know, with this Melaleuca opportunity in front of me, and I was so scared. You know, I had the opportunity. I had Ed Vestoso wanting to help me, but I was so scared to make that decision. I didn't think I had it in me. I was tired. I was burnt out from working with the multi-level marketing company. I just didn't know if I could do it. And I'll never forget this one day. It was in the afternoon. My kids were home. I was having to make a decision because Ed was calling me and people were asking me, what am I going to do? Am I going to build this Melaleuca business? And I really needed somebody to talk to. So I called my girlfriend Linda, and I had to go into my son Robbie, who at the time was 3, into his bedroom to get to have peace and quiet because my house was noisy with the kids. And so I went into the bedroom. I closed the door. I sat on his little twin bed on the end of the bed. I dialed up Linda, and I started talking to her, and I said, I'm so scared. I don't know what to do. I know I have to make this decision. I really need to spend time with my family. I've already sacrificed time. You know, I'm so stressed out. It was a really, really hard time. And Linda said to me, and she was a dear friend, still is, and she was really looking after my best interest. She said, I don't think you should do Melaleuca. I don't think you should pursue this business. You need to rest. You need to take time with your family. You know, and she had valid points. You know, all that was true. But then, after I hung up with Linda, I sat on the edge of my son's bed, and I felt like I could not get up from that bed. I felt like I was frozen. And I just sat there. I don't know if I sat there for 5 minutes or 45 minutes. I really don't know how much time passed. But as I sat there, thoughts were just seeping into my brain about my life and the rest of my life. And I thought, you know, is somebody going to come along and give me money to get out of debt? Is somebody going to come along and you know, save my life or help my life? Is somebody going to hand me a really great life on a silver platter? Like, who's going to do that? And it hit me like a ton of bricks. And I realized nobody is going to do that for me. That somebody is me. I have to do it for myself. And I stood up from my son's bed, and this was like one of the greatest moments of my life. I stood up from his bed. I felt like I literally shook off this ugly coat of fear, which stops us from everything, and I walked out of his room, and I got to work, and that was it. And I decided, I'm committing. No one's going to stop me. I'm going to build my business. I have this incredible opportunity. I'm going to change my life. And Ed and I got to work, and it was great. So we started working, and, you know, when you make the decision and you start working, things will start to happen when you really, really make a commitment. And that's what I did. And I'll never forget Ed and I on one of our first business trips. We went to, at the time I was living up in Canada, in Halifax, Nova Scotia. Ed flew in, and we drove to Moncton, New Brunswick. And we were in my little Subaru, beat-up old Subaru car, and it had like this rack on the top of it, and Ed was like always commenting about how noisy the car was because it made this like whistling sound in our ears the whole time we were driving through New Brunswick. Anyway, we're driving. We had just finished doing a whole bunch of work, a lot of in-homes, one-on-ones, working hard. People were excited. They were coming in. It was, it was starting to happen. And we were driving along this highway after we were finished, and it was a really sunny afternoon. And I was driving, and Ed was in the passenger seat, and it seemed like it was very strange. It seemed like we were the only car on this highway. And we're driving along, and Ed looks at me, and he says, "Congratulations, darling. Your life is going to change forever. You're going to become an executive director." And I said, "Me? I said, "Ed, you really think it's going to happen for me? I just, really? It can happen?" It was just such hope he was giving me. He said, "Absolutely, it's happening. It's starting. Your life is going to change forever." And I just started crying. And I was driving, and I was weaving all over the road. And said, "Pull over. We're going to get in a wreck." So we pulled over to the shoulder of the road, and we both cried, and we laughed. And we both realized that my life was about to change forever. And Ed realized that his was going to continue to get even better. And it was the most amazing moment. And, it really, when you make the decision, it does start to happen. And we worked, and now here we are 10.5 years later. Ed has thousands of customers in his business. I have, over 13,000 customers in mine. Ed made close to $2 million last year. I made over $1 million. And it's because I sat on my son's bed that afternoon and I made a decision to do this, and I didn't let anybody get in my way. And that's what you have to do. You have to make that decision. It's so important. I encourage you to make that decision, to have unwavering commitment. It's your life. You deserve a great life. And to become unstoppable, don't let failure be an option. Take the jump. Take the leap. Take the leap of faith, build this business, change your life, change countless lives along the way, and make all your dreams come true. Thank you so much.